course on the vocal programme. This is Helen. I've developed the course, and over a period of 25 years of teaching, I've had wonderful results with people. So I just thought I'd give you a little bit about my background. I've always been a musician, singer-songwriter. At the age of 20, I was signed to Chrysalis Records and had a hit record which vaguely sort of touched the top 40, and it was called Tonight's the Night, and the band was called Fantasia. I worked with Pete Waterman and Stock Aitken and Waterman's production company, and Tim Gordine, who is a Grammy-nominated producer. By the time I was 23, I got signed to Rhythm King Records / Epic, which is part of Sony, and I got signed as a songwriter to Sony Music. I then got signed to Chappell Records in America, and one of the most wonderful experiences was standing on the Capitol Tower at sunset, singing my music, singing my songs, and just having the most incredible time, living the dream. It was brilliant. So it's a long story, which I won't bore you with, but it enabled me to do wonderful gigs. I've played Wembley, and I've played the Town and Country, and when I went into jazz later on, I played Ronnie Scott's and Pizza in the Park, Pizza Express, etc., which kind of, if you know the jazz scene, are the top gigs for that. And I've been a session singer, and from the 80s, from mid-80s right the way through. Once I had finished with Sony, after about 5 years, I moved as a singer-songwriter to Warner Chappell Music, and worked with some amazing people, from Francis White, who produced Duffy's album, and Will Young and Bloody Bloody Blah, wrote songs with him, and a whole plethora of other people that you probably would have heard of or may not have done because they're just writers, which she started just for that purpose. So I've lived a life of singing and songwriting. In order to actually sort of keep a flow going, I decided that I would pick up the baton from my wonderful teacher, Glyn Jones, who taught everybody from Shirley Bassey, Elton John, right the way through to the last person, who was Will Young. It was an amazing experience having him as a mentor. I absolutely loved him and still miss him to this day. You know, he died about 15 years ago. But the last conversation we had was that he was very happy for me to pick up his tuition baton. So I've been a university lecturer as part of Wolverhampton University, teaching in Exeter, the degree course. I have a first-class degree in music performance, and one of the biggest gigs I've played is Wembley, and that was great. That was in 2002. And recently I've been singing gospel. I've had gospel choirs. My passion is vocal arrangements. I love working with vocal arrangements, and I love working with singers and facilitating the growth of other people. For me, that is just the best thing, and that's why I kept teaching right the way through for 25 years, because I just love to see people grow. And I love to hear people's voices. There's so much you can hear in a person's voice. You can hear their soul spilling out. And I'm still in touch with people that I taught 20 years ago. And so, you know, it's an amazing, amazing process, and has been such a major part of my life. I wanted to put this course together to kind of bring it all together and celebrate 25 years. And also everything's moving online these days, so I just thought, well, let's put it all online. And then it's there forever, and you can always, you know, come back to it. And it's a reference point as well. So on my journey now, besides the coaching online, I'm moving into a different sphere of music, which is much more to do with the research that I've been involved in, how sound changes the DNA. Yes, how amazing is that? So that's my area of expertise and passion. As I get older, I'm in my 50s now, and I'm still writing and still recording, and I'm so grateful for that. And I just wish you well on this course. I hope that you feel inspired. Some of the things are a little bit like, oh my gosh, do I have to do this again? Well, you know, that's the nature of becoming good at something. You have to repeat it. You repeat the action until you've mastered it, and then you just carry on. So, you know, it's like that, really. So there's a little bit, in a nutshell, of just a few of the things that I've done and the few gigs that I've played. I kind of walked away from all the celebrity stuff. It wasn't really for me. I'm actually much more of an introvert than people realise. And so I'm happy facilitating the growth of others and working on a different wavelength, perhaps you could say, these days. But I still love to play and I still love to write. So anyway, enough about me and all about you. That's a little bit of my history. So you go ahead, enjoy the course, and I will see you at the end of it for your coaching session. Okay, have a great time.